Hi, this is Darren Johnson, strongmoneyplan.com. Today I'm going to answer a couple of questions that I saw posted in the Facebook group of Copyprotraders. And one of those questions was how to read the information in the back office of your Kraken account. And I believe the specific question was, how do you understand what is going on with your account? So I'm going to go over that today, and I'm also going to show you how you can find your profits per trade. So right now I'm in my back office here, and I'm going to show you whenever you enter into a purchase, it's going to appear right here where this little Kraken monster is. If you click on that, that's going to list all of your assets. So these are active trades that you're in, with the exception of, in my case, Tether, and in your case as well, Tether and USD coin. Okay, these are stable coins, and those are not active trades. But your Copyprotraders are going to be trading from your Tether USD account. So that's the money that they're pulling from. So anytime you enter into a trade, it's coming out of here. All right. So now I'm going to give you a couple examples of how I measure my trades. So as you can see right now, I'm in Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, EOS, Polkadot, Bitcoin, Cardano, and not necessarily Ethereum was actually traded out of my account, but it left little remnants for some reason. So that's like less than, what is that? 19 cents, 20 cents, right? That's left in my account, and I can't move that because it's too small of an amount. So we're not in Ethereum right now for the purposes of this example. USD coin is something that I get into in order to actively put money into my Kraken account. So if I wanted to put money from my checking account into my Kraken account, I can actually buy USD coins. I have another video that shows you how to do that. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll find that video, or if you just want to go to my YouTube channel, you'll find it. Either way, it doesn't matter. But anyway, that's why that USD coin is there. So these are the assets that I'm in, right? So how do you verify that? Well, you're going to go over here to trades, and you click on trades, and these are your buy and sell orders, right? So you can see the latest activity was a sell of Ethereum at $2,493.13. The volume, the amount of it that was sold was 0.2571, and the amount that was turned back into Tether, or the amount that I made from this trade, was $640.98. And so I'm going to show you in a few minutes how you can figure out what your profit was from that. But right now I'm just kind of giving you an overview of what happens when a trade is executed. So here's another one. All right, there's another sale that happened. This was Ethereum. So look at what happened here. There are two different trades that happen inside of Ethereum. How does that happen? Well, sometimes our traders will go into a position into Ethereum, for instance, and then let's say that the market starts to dip. So what do? They buy the dip. So when it drops down to a lower price, if you have enough Tether in your account, they'll go back into Ethereum for a second purchase of shares at that new dip price. All right. And let's say if it dips again, if you have more Tether, they might buy the dip again. You know, we've all heard the saying, we buy the dip deep. So if they see on their charts that it's going to continue to dip, they'll continue to buy, increasing your position in Ethereum, so that once the market corrects itself and goes back up, you're going to be making profits at those different levels, right? That's the idea. All right, but let's look at this one, Bitcoin Cash. I'm in a couple of positions in Bitcoin Cash. How do you know that? Well, because my value was $1,137.11. But if I go back into my my trading history, you'll see that I had two positions of probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $620 per trade. So I'm in two positions, and what's going to happen is when that market corrects itself, he's going to sell my Bitcoin Cash one position at a time. All right. And I'll show you that. That'll make more sense if we go back over here to my trading log. All right. But I don't want to confuse you. So I'm going to finish this, and then we'll get back in my trading log, and I'll continue to explain that. All right, so getting back to your trades right here, let's see what happens when an order is purchased. All right, so this is a buy order of EOS at $6.71, rounded up maybe $6.72, 115 amount volume. That's how much of it I accrued. And it cost me $772.65. So when this sells, I'm going to put in data into a spreadsheet that I've designed, and that's going to tell me the difference between what I bought it for here and what it sold for. Okay. So I think that's the perfect lead in into showing you how to find your profits. So if I go over, I designed an actual spreadsheet I call my cryptocurrency trading log. If you want it, just let me know, and I'm happy to give you a copy of it. Just make a comment, and then I'll know, because I'll get the notification, and then I'll send it to you. This is my trading log, and what I do, and it's actually, I gotta tell you what I did. All right, I've modified my trading log to include more relevant information. So the reason you don't see any activity here or any activity here is because that used to say buy time and sell time. Well, over the course of my trading, I found that that's not nearly as relevant as my buy volume and my sell volume. So I changed that out to buy volume and sell volume. So what I do is I enter the asset, the date it was purchased, the amount that was taken out of my tether to make the purchase, which is my trading amount, and then you want to put in the buy volume. All right. So again, where do you find that? Right here, volume. Right. So let's go to a buy order right here. 115 of, what is this? EOS. That's the volume, right? And this is a buy order for EOS. So as an example, you would put EOS where it says asset, your price where it says price. So if I go back over here, all right, here, let's go down to EOS. Let me just show you. All right, here it is right here. So I have EOS purchased on the 20th for $772.65. The volume of that was 115. All right. And the price per share, if you will, was $6.71, $6.71, rounding it up, $6.72. Now, when that order sells, I'm going to put the sell volume here. And the reason I do that is because I want to make sure it's the same as the buy volume so that I'm crediting the proper sale to the proper order and I don't mix it up. And this is helpful if you're in multiple positions of the same coin, right? So as an example, here is I was in Ethereum twice. I mentioned that before. So one was at a volume of 0.3235, and then the other one here was at a volume of 0.2571. Now, if I didn't have those two numbers in place, I could have gotten confused, and when both sales happened the same day, I could have put the wrong sell amount for the wrong order, if that makes sense. So to keep me from doing that, I make sure that when I put in the sell volume, it's the same as the buy volume. Now, in this instance, you can see it's not quite the same. You got that 334 right here that's left over. For whatever reason, that part didn't sell, but it's still sitting in my assets, right? And when I showed you the Ethereum earlier and why I was trying to explain to you why it didn't clear out, that's what's left over, okay? So I'm going to have to wait until we go into Ethereum again, and then when the sell happens, hopefully it'll take that remaining scraps with it, and then I'll totally clear out of that. But in the meantime, we can see that this is close enough to this to know that this was the trade that was sold. So when was it sold? It was sold on the 22nd of April, and the sell price for that was $640.98. Now, of course, the fees got taken out of what came back to me, and there's maybe $1 or $2, I don't know. All right, so anyway, that tells me that the profit on that was 3.27%, or $20.93. All right, so that's an example of Ethereum here. And then if I go back down, here's the other one, was another sell that happened for this volume. And I measured it against this volume, and it's the same, right? Minus, I guess, leftover 408, that little tiny remnants that are left over, and that reflects in my assets and my Kraken account as well. You can see that that's left over. And again, I can't do anything with it until we go into Ethereum because it's too low of a volume to manipulate. At least I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So anyway, there was a sale that happened on the 21st of April in the amount of $768.38 for a profit of 12.15% on that trade, or $93.39 into my account as a profit. All right. And then, of course, up here, I've got my grand total. This is the amount of money that I've made since I've been into Copyprotraders. All right. So now let's go back into the Kraken exchange, and I want to help that make more sense for you. All right. So what I do is anytime there's a sell, I take the sell information that right here under trades. It was for Ethereum. This was the price that it was sold for. This was the volume amount that was sold, and this is what goes into my account, and that gets converted back into Tether. I type that information right back here into my own spreadsheet, and I just transcribe the same information. So that was Ethereum. And we're going to go into the Ethereum here. Where did it go? All right, it was this one. And I just punch in the numbers right here, right? And then that tells me how much I made on that trade. All right. So that's how you understand your Kraken back office. That's how you know that you're in active trades. This row is actually the value of it right now in real time. This name right here is the price that it cost when the trade was executed. This here is how much you paid to get into that trade. This is the amount that you bought, all right? And this is the asset that you accrued. And of course, this is whether or not it was a sell order coming back into your account or a buy order coming out of your account, all right? And again, if it's a buy order, it's going to be listed here under assets. All right. And then again, this is a real time price of what your asset is worth right now. And that causes this number to fluctuate either up or down, depending on what happens in the market with these assets. See, you can see it just jumped up, right? And then of course, this right here, this column is what the market is doing within the last 24 hours. All right. So don't panic if you see a lot of red there. Maybe the market is dipping right now, but if you've got Tether in your account, this is a good opportunity that your trader may see and use that Tether to buy you a lower position in some of these assets. And when the market corrects itself, you'll make a little bit more profit because you'll be sitting in a lower position, right? Because the market's dipping. All right. Now, of course, we want to see these numbers green because that means the market is starting to go back up, but that may not necessarily mean that you're in profit yet if your position was such that the market dipped a couple of times, right? So that tomorrow this may all be green, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm in profit yet and at a position where it should be sold, because it has to rise up to that number, that purchase price that I accrued the coin for, right? And then over that, and then that's when I'm in profit, right? So let's just say, to illustrate this example, if Bitcoin Cash was $858.44 and it's down, right? That doesn't necessarily reflect what my profit's going to be, because I may have bought Bitcoin Cash lower than $858. Let's say I got it. I'm just going to throw out a number. Let's say I got it at $800, right? So then I would still be in profit, even though this right here shows that it's down, the market's down 6.69. So it really, your personal numbers depend on what your personal buy price is against what the market price is today. All right. And that's how your traders know whether or not you're in profit. And once they, go through their magic or whatever they do, I don't know what traders do, but whatever they do to help them understand when to buy and when to sell, whenever they meet that whenever the market meets their criteria, they'll go ahead and sell or buy on your behalf. And then, like I said, all I do is I just plug the information back here into my trading log so I can gauge how I'm doing personally within Copyprotraders. So I hope that answered your questions in regards to what's going on in your back office of your Kraken account, as well as how to monitor your trading and whether or not you're in profit. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'm happy to address them. If I wasn't clear on anything, please leave it in the comments. I'm happy to, add more information to clarify whatever questions that anyone may have. But I hope you found this video helpful. This is Darren Johnson, strongmoneyplan.com, and I will talk to you in another video.